Empowered family, Will Robbins here again, and we have our new Empowered Player of the Week this week, Tess Herendeen, with us. After a stellar performance at the Mid-East Power League, it was a unanimous decision to make Tess Herendeen our Player of the Week. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tess Herendeen. And the crowd goes wild. So a couple things that your coach had mentioned, and it's the stuff that we see every day in practice, is just your infectious attitude and personality. It's just always positive, it's always encouraging, you always have a smile on your face. And so I guess for the people at home, help them to understand, is this something that's just instinctual for you? Or is this something that you really try to focus on and try to make sure that you're the best teammate or always encouraging your teammates? You know, what goes through your mind?
I think it's honestly a little bit of both. I know that my biggest motivator in volleyball, the thing that makes me play the best all the time, is energy. So if I can be the one to give that to my teammates and see that they feed off that energy and they get energy, then I know I can play better. And as a group, I just know energy is really what makes us thrive.
Yeah.
So I definitely focus on it a little bit, but for the most part, I kind of feel like it comes naturally. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. And I feel like a lot of times, if it's fairly new to you, you know, you have to kind of focus on it and force yourself to continue to encourage your teammates. But after a while, it does become a habit where it does start to happen instinctually. So yeah, no, that's a great answer. And also, you know, with that energy and positivity, it sounded like, you know, you had some tough battles this weekend. And, you know, there's a couple games where they realized you were one of the go-to people and, you know, they were really putting a block in front of you and camping on you a little bit, and it sounded like you struggled a little bit, but you didn't allow it to shake you, and you stayed mentally tough and you kept battling and you guys pushed through. And so I guess tell me, how do you also try to stay mentally tough and not to, you know, waver when you're being challenged and the team is putting a lot of pressure on you? You know, how do you stay focused on the job at hand?
Volleyball is a very mental sport, that's for sure. But one part of the game is definitely making mistakes. So you can't get a point without somebody making a mistake. And if that happens to be me, then I just know next ball has to be mine. So this weekend, the team was serving every single ball at me, and there were definitely some that were just not good. So my teammates being around me, patting me on the back, like giving me encouraging words definitely brought me up, and they made me realize that 1 point isn't gonna win or lose it. It just happens, what happens with the next point is what's gonna be the most important.
Mistakes are a part of the game, and I think that's what, you know, the higher level players understand, the higher level coaches, is just that mistakes are a part of the game, but it's all about how you respond to them. You know, a team is going to earn a point, but now are you mentally tough enough to bounce back and score the next point? Or if you get aced or if you get blocked, are you able to still be mentally tough and focus on the task at hand at passing this next ball? Or do you allow it to shake you mentally and destroy your confidence, where you allow one bad pass to turn into 3 bad passes,
right,
you know, and then you go into that tank. And so I think the best players, you know, have figured out how to be able to face adversity, face some setbacks, and then be able to bounce back and be able to fix their mistakes and focus on the next play. And as we talk about in our gym, the 4 F's, you know, as soon as you make a mistake, you figure out what you did wrong, and then you just go ahead and fix it. And then the third is you focus on the next play and you forget about that past play. So you kind of go through those 4 F's every time and figure out what you did wrong, fix it, forget about it, focus on the next play. And so it sounded like you did a great job of that this weekend. And so, yeah, we're ecstatic about having you in our gym, your energy, your attitude, how much you encourage the girls. You really do inspire our young athletes, your teammates. And so help your Empowered family to understand a little bit about you. What are some of your dreams and aspirations, you know, for college, for your career? What are you wanting to do here in the next couple of years when you graduate, and for your future?
I definitely want to play volleyball as far as I can, but I know that at some point that's going to have to end. So right now I have always really focused on school, and school has always been a very big ordeal for me. So I try and do my best in every class. I feel like I get really good grades. So I'm going to try and do something probably in the medical field is what I want to do. I'm not positive yet, and there's a lot of options, but I think that I know that I love to work with people, and I'd like to help them mostly. So maybe nursing or something medical.
So another thing that a lot of people may not know, as they see you as an outside hitter now, is you've played DS libero for a majority of your career. And up until just really this year and a little bit last year, were you asked to switch roles and be able to embrace the outside hitter position. And I know that can be, at 15 years old, 16 years old, that can be, I guess a little stressful as you change positions and have to do a new role that maybe you haven't done very often. So I guess tell me, what was that transition like, going from a DS to an outside and being able to now hit the ball and be able to terminate the ball as opposed to just being able to dig and serve receive? What was that transition like?
The two positions are definitely very different, obviously. So the main thing I focused on when I started to switch was I knew that if I wanted to be a hitter, I had to increase my vertical, because I feel like my speed was already there from being a DS. So over quarantine, I really focused on my jump and did a lot of jumping drills and started jump roping almost every night. And I feel like that really helped me with my vertical, because once I got my vertical, I just had to get my timing and my footwork and stuff, my hand swing, my hand contact, and that down. And I did a lot of privates with you, some with Yvonne. I feel like that helped me a lot. And our whole footwork drills, that was very big, very helpful. And I think being able to be the one that gets that point is so rewarding, especially after spending so many years being the one trying to set up that person, trying to get the setter to be able to set up that person to get that kill. Now being the one that can actually earn that point for my team, that is a very rewarding feeling.
Most definitely. I mean, you being an outside hitter, I definitely know that satisfaction, and I feel for our DSs and liberos. I couldn't ever do it. To be able to dig those balls and then rely on somebody else to score the point, to me that would be tough. I always want to be in a little more control. So yes, as an outside hitter, you do have that power and that control to be able to dictate the outcome of the game a lot more. And so yeah, you've made a smooth transition from the DS to outside. And I know you also do a lot of beach. With our training here with the indoor, you also get beach 1 day a week, but you've been going above and beyond and playing in tournaments and doing extra training and playing in our beach leagues. How has being out on the beach and doing all those skills in the doubles game, how has that helped you to be able to translate over into being an outside hitter and making that change from DS to outside?
Playing in the beach is the sand, as obviously it makes it a lot harder to move around. So jumping in the beach, moving in the beach, I feel like it's made me all around quicker. But not only that, being one of two girls on the court, having to touch the ball every single or every other ball, every time it's passed, it gives you a lot more responsibility on the court. So when you're playing, you have to be all around more knowledgeable of the game. You have to be able to read the other side, because you have a lot more room to cover than indoor. And being able to see where your partner is, where she's gonna pass the ball, knowing where they are after she passes the ball so you can get her a good set, or being able to talk and tell her where you are on the court so that you can
be successful.
Yeah,
work together as a team. I think everything that you touched on is why we love beach volleyball so much and have implemented it into our training program, because yes, you get so many more touches. Every time the ball comes over, you get to touch the ball, you get to do every skill, you get the constant resistance of the sand, so it's increasing your vertical, getting you quicker. But because you get to do every skill, it makes you a more well-rounded player that then you can play any position on the indoor side. And yes, I would agree from a defensive standpoint and a communication standpoint, it really forces you to have to communicate with your teammate, because you have to cover all of this court, and that also forces you to read better because you have to cover more of the court, so you have to anticipate where the hitter is going to hit the ball and be in the right position. So yeah, all of the things that you mentioned, you're 100% correct. It truly does help you to elevate your indoor game, and really is a great kind of cross-training surface for the indoor players. And so, I have to believe that, with the beach training, with your positive attitude, always, being optimistic, and always believing in yourself, being mentally tough, being able to bounce back when you face some adversity. I think all of those tie in to you making that smooth transition from DS to the outside, and I believe led to you being the athlete player of the week, and leading your team to a runner-up finish, this weekend at a really tough Mideast Power League. And really just sounds like leading your team as one of the leaders and captains of your team, and really encouraging your team and helping rally them to be able to accomplish more with the high energy and the intensity, and just being a great leader and a great teammate. So once again, we thank you, for being a part of Empowered. We thank you for everything that you do for your team. And congratulations on being Empowered's Athlete Player of the Week.
Thank you.